Hello everybody out there. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill and welcome to an Adviseable Property News Update. We do give you the best, honest, balanced commentary and content on our channel. So before we do anything else, please subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so that you're getting all our news updates, our city special reports and all our content the moment that we post it. And as important, please click on that like button too if you are enjoying our free content and you are finding it useful. We do really appreciate your support. Now, for those of you who know me, you can absolutely skip this little intro right here and get straight to those all-important juicy bits. And to all the newbies, welcome. I really am so happy that you found us, and please do keep watching. To quickly explain who the heck I am, me and my team are professionals in property. We have been in real estate for a long time, advising and helping people. We've seen most things happen. We've gone through all the cycles, and we ourselves own and invest in property. We are also qualified property investment advisors. We don't get paid by anyone to sell property, and we do genuinely care about empowering you to get the best results for yourselves. And we are experts at what we do. We attend auctions, we appraise, analyse and buy property. We are out there 24/7 at that property coalface. Okay, so let's get going. So this week's news update will cover off on some of our national vacancy rates, the auction clearance rates, huge increases in home lending, payments into mortgages increasing. So while I would obviously prefer you to watch the whole of my lovely little video, feel free to skip along to each segment that you are interested in if you don't want to watch the whole programme. In latest vacancy rate news, SQM Research report that Melbourne has moved past Sydney to have the highest residential vacancy rate in Australia, with the number of empty rental properties surging past 23,000 in the Victorian capital. Data showed Melbourne's residential vacancy rate was a new record high at 3.8% at the end of September, compared to 3.5% in Sydney and 2% in Brisbane. Melbourne was the only city to record a significant increase in vacancies over that month. At the end of September, there were 23,207 properties available to rent in Melbourne, which is more than double the 11,599 available at this same time last year. Perth, Darwin and Hobart recorded increases in asking rents, with Hobart experiencing the highest rental growth in Australia for both houses and units at 3.2% and 3.4% respectively. Now, what I must stress again is that this is not the case across the whole of Melbourne City with regard to those vacancy rates. You can't lump the whole of Melbourne into the same bucket. And you're going to read some pretty dramatic headlines like these here that I'm showing you. The rental vacancy rates are really only rising at this time in the CBD and inner city suburbs, those areas that are more populated by tourists, overseas students, and a more transient demographic. Until those national and international borders open up, this really won't improve anytime soon. So have a look at the difference in vacancy rates between some of these suburbs here, for example, where the population is more stable, it's families with kids going to local schools, making their lives there, where you're seeing really quite low vacancy rates, to these inner city suburbs where the rates are really high because we are at the mercy of that more transient population. So it's really important to note that these headlines do not apply to the whole of Melbourne. So outside of Melbourne and Sydney, vacancy rates are falling again. And then when we consider these regional location vacancy rates that have fallen below 1%, it really represents the point of little to no rental vacancies. Perth, Darwin, Hobart all recorded rental rate increases in both houses and units. And as we said, with Hobart recording the highest rental growth in the nation for both houses and units. So with the easing of lockdown, Melbourne saw a substantial increase in scheduled auction volumes this week, with 188 homes taken to auction, which is up on the 59 auctions that we had last week and is the largest number of auctions in 2 months. Of the 143 results collected so far, 93 were successful. Of the sold results collected, 27% sold prior to the scheduled auction event, which was much lower than the recent trend where a high proportion of auctions were selling prior to the auction being held. So 1 year ago, 915 Melbourne homes were auctioned with 73.3% selling. You can watch this video here to get more specific Melbourne property market updates. Sydney continues to make up over 60% of all auction activity. Although volumes were lower over the week, with 707 homes taken to auction, which is down from the 751 held over the week previous to that. Of the 560 results collected, a preliminary clearance rate of 75.9% was achieved. Last week, Sydney's final clearance rate came in at 67.2%, and this time last year, a final auction clearance rate of 79% across 727 auctions was recorded. You can watch this video here to get more specific info on the Sydney property market. The latest data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics shows that home lending rose 12.6% in August, which is the highest monthly figure since January 2018. Now, this data shows that annual growth in home loans was 19.3% and confirms that most housing markets have held up strongly against the pandemic impacts. The largest increases in new mortgage commitments for owner-occupiers were in Victoria, in Queensland and New South Wales. Now, we are reading reports such as the latest CBA economics report that state the evidence continues to mount that Australia's housing market is going to come through the COVID-19 pandemic largely unscathed. Owner-occupiers led the way, with the value of new loans increasing 13.6% from the previous month and 29.2% year on year. First home buyers were at their highest level in over a decade as well, with a total of 12,302 first home buyers settling loans in August, which is the biggest monthly number since October 2009. So those are very compelling figures in regard to buyers and consumer confidence in our property markets. Following on in kind of the same vein, we note that voluntary payments into mortgages doubled in July, August and September from the previous 12 months, as home loan borrowers paid extra in to their loans to build up buffers. The Financial Review reports that data from non-bank lender First Mac shows that the level of additional payments made by borrowers rose to an average 10% of the portfolio in the past 3 months. And this is compared with the monthly average payment of 5% last year. First Mac Chief Financial Officer says that there's obviously a lot of money flowing through the economy and people are choosing to save that money. Paying down the mortgage is another form of saving. In the June quarter, the nation's household savings ratio jumped to 20%, the highest level since 1974. The figures indicate a relatively low level of arrears among mortgage holders seeking payment relief, which is consistent with data from the Commonwealth Bank. According to the CBA, 57% of the customers who did defer their loan repayments are now ready to start making them again. And all of this, of course, is really good news. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below and hit that like button too. We do really appreciate your support. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.